second hall. We have barred the gates, but cannot hold them for long. The ground shakes. Drums. Drums in the deep. We cannot get out. A shadow moves in the dark. We cannot get out. They are coming.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's video. We're doing something a little different for a change. We're not just doing models.
We're branching out.
So, not too long ago, me and Mrs. Apothecary had a conversation. As many of you know, she became disabled about a year ago now.
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years now.
Be 2 years in January.
Yeah. Which obviously, as you can imagine, was very upsetting and left her feeling of very much kind of like, oh, what the heck do I do with myself? So, after a couple of conversations, we decided that she would take more involvement in the channel and we would start looking into things that Mrs. Apothecary has always wanted to do. And as she is very creative, and we both have a passion for Lord of the Rings, and we both really like the Mines of Moria scenes, we thought, to heck with it, let's make a Bug Nook.
These were really popular a couple of years ago, I think. Everyone seemed to do a Book Nook video, anyone that's into model making, or and it's just a little diorama.
Yeah.
So this is my first foray into making a diorama, which is really cool. I got to play with foam and all these videos that people I watch on YouTube. I've taken on board their hints and tips and put them to good use, or tried to.
Oh yeah, we literally binge watched, I think, pretty much every YouTuber out there that has ever built a Book Nook or has done a tutorial on Book Nooks.
Yes.
So Mrs. Apothecary took the crafting side of things with foam and card and wood and various other things, and I just focused on the simple thing of painting.
Mr. Apothecary has always wanted to paint the Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we thought this was a great opportunity for me to get into the things I want to do more of, and chance for Mr. Apothecary to paint the Fellowship.
Yeah, I mean, when they first came out, I think I gave them a try and I did a really, really bad job. So this has been nice to kind of revisit the models from a sort of creative, positivity side of things as well.
And for the last few weeks, we've been watching every week without fail on a Friday night. We have been watching the Rings of Power. So that's just finished, which we loved. I know it's not been everybody's cup of tea, but we absolutely loved it. So we've been kind of doing this alongside watching the Rings of Power as well.
Yeah, and we started this back in September. Unfortunately, obviously, due to some POTS flare-ups, and we've both been unwell physically and mentally. It's kind of taken a little bit longer than we would have liked.
4 to 6 weeks, about 4 weeks, I think, we've both been poorly. So this has taken a lot longer than we thought it would. We've had a bit of a break from content creating just because we've been too ill to do anything.
Yeah. The point I was going to make, though, about the positivity and the creativity inside of things, this project has really kept both of us quite motivated.
We've been dying to get this finished.
It's like I don't. It's not a case of I want this cold to go so I can do anything else. It's like I want to get this cold out of the way so I can paint more of the Fellowship. I started with Gandalf and then straight away went into Gimli.
Let them come. It is
one dwarf yet in Moria who still draws breath.
Because
dwarf.
Because dwarves. Because I love me some dwarves.
You do love your dwarves.
The Lord of the Rings dwarves are really cool. I like them, and I think GW did a really good job with their models, the casts and stuff, and they've come a long way as well. So
they are absolutely spot on for the cast of the Lord of the Rings films. They have really captured the actors'
likeness.
Oh
yeah. Goodness, yeah. Like I remember the first time I painted them, you couldn't tell who these people were. Like now, I feel like I don't know actually. I don't know whether it's the cast has changed. It might have not, or whether it's my painting skill.
Your
that's
skills
come
have
along.
massively developed in the last year, 2 years.
Yeah.
You've come so far in that short space of time. You've really come a long way.
Stop stroking the ego. I don't need a bigger head. My point being is, like, when I was younger, it was like whack on a coat of elf flesh and that was it. Like now, I've done various coats. There's been some washes and everything else. But I mean, we've used quite a lot of materials that we wouldn't normally use in.
It's been so much fun. It's been so much fun. I have got to play with different types of foam, texturing that foam. I've got a rock and bashed the foam with a rock, which is...
That's from north of the border, is that? Dude, if you're watching, the rock effect, it works.
Yeah. Adam and his tiny wormy dealies.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, we just love you.
Yeah, they're brilliant. These videos are brilliant.
Yeah.
If you're listening and you ever want to do a collab, we're up for it. But yeah, I mean, painting the actual figures as well was fun, because doing them in batches as well. Like, Gandalf was just a series of blues and grey dry brushes. And then Gimli, followed by Legolas and Aragorn, because their colour palette is very similar.
Yeah.
There's lots of greens, there's blues, there's browns in there. So it was really interesting to, like, do them in batches. And then, like, picking out the little details. I mean, there is a lot, because it's a sealed box now. There's a lot of detail on the back of those models that you're not going to see.
Yeah.
But I know it's there, so I'm happy with it. You know. We had a lot of back and forth idea-wise for, like, detailing and the light source that we were going to put in it as well.
Yeah, it was a good excuse to go back and watch Balin's tomb scene from the Lord of the Rings series and play around with some ideas, and yeah, got to play with lights. I've never done that before either.
No.
It's been again, it's a lot of firsts, a lot of things that I've been wanting to do.
Yeah,
I've got to try on this project,
which has been great. It's been fun to do, and then. I mean, we're not professionals. This is by no stretch of the imagination a how-to on how to do a book nook. You want that? Go find someone else.
There are so many videos out there on how to do it, and everybody does it differently. And I think the main takeaway is just go out there and do it.
Compos Mentis enough to actually do it was Boromir.
They have a cave troll.
Which, unfortunately, I don't know where the footage for that has gone. And then the Hobbits, because, again, their colour palette is very similar. So that's been really interesting to do each of these characters. I've always painted characters one-on-one. I've never done a group of characters before. So that was quite interesting, because each of those Hobbits is different.
I have to say, you have done a fantastic job with those models.
Those Hobbits are
all of the models
terrible.
Are incredible. I was so impressed when I finally got to see them completed.
So I like the weathering that you did. I like the weathering. So we saw, what was it called? It's a specific terrain kit that you bought. We got.
Yes.
We are prepared and professional. She isn't just digging it out now at all. What was it called?
So I bought the Army Painter Game Master set, Dungeons and Caverns core set. Oh, it's my favourite thing ever.
The mossy effect from that worked really well.
Yes, so it came with a lot of paints and one called Subterranean Wash.
That one.
Which gives a mossy effect to your dungeons, caverns, stonework, and it worked really well.
Tombs.
And it just added... Yeah, it added a little extra, and it broke up the grey.
Yeah, it did break up the grey.
Yeah, Balin's tomb is very...
Grey.
There's a lot of grey.
It's a dwarf hold. It's grey, let's face it. There's a lot of...
So I did just want to... I used that when it arrived just to break up some of the grey.
I think that the most awkward bit is possibly what you're currently seeing on screen, which is putting the models actually in the book nook. If we do another one of these, we're not putting the sides on. We are not putting the sides on.
I kind of got a little bit over-eager. That's my fault.
Because
I just wanted to see it all put together.
Mrs. A recovered quicker than I did, to be fair, and she cracked on, and it was like, yep, it's built, it's done, now you've got to finish the models, and it's
my cold started before yours.
Yeah.
And then, you got poorly after me, so I had started recovering a bit before.
And then we both lost our voices, which would have been no good for recording, because it had just been a silent video. But I think
it's been a trying month.
It has been a trying month, but I think the takeaway from the actual build itself is leave the panels, at least half the panels off, which we should have learnt from the multitude of videos that we watched, but we didn't.
I just got too eager. I just really wanted to see it all put together, and yeah.
I hope you've enjoyed this pretty much rambling video. It's been a real fun video to do, even though it's taken us longer than we previously thought. And we're really happy with the outcome. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this book nook and whether you would like to see more, I guess.
Leave comments down below. Smash all the buttons.
Smash all the buttons and leave comments. And we want to hear your thoughts on the book nook.
We've really enjoyed making this.
Yep.
So if you enjoy watching this video, listening to us ramble, or have some ideas about what else we can do, leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you.
Yep. And don't forget to check out our Patreon so you can have your name here. And thank you very much for watching, and we will see you all next time.
Toodles!